me just 1 minute. I don't know what happened to Dave. I expected Dave to be up here, but he's not here. I just was on the phone, so I apologize. I would have started sooner, but I got talking, and I know that's shocking. All right. Hello. How's everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. Uh, I hope you guys are having a good day. Busy day here at the homestead. But so we're going to be talking about this. Blinken is going to be heading over to speak with the Chinese and stuff like that. So we're going to get into that in a moment, and we're going to go from there. But so. All right, so before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Um, just be, kind, and we'll be great. If you're not, then those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches, they'll boot you out of here because we're not going to have it. So that is how that rolls. All right. So anyway, hey Jeff, good evening. Uh, all right. So after checking on the bees yesterday, I was like, okay, I got to get this next box ready. So I did a coat of paint on the third box yesterday, and I did this morning. I did the second coat on it, so that one is ready. So um, that way, what I'm going to do is probably either tomorrow or the next day. I'll do another video on it, but I'm going to be adding that third box on there and put the queen separator into it so that she can't get up into the third box. Um, and then that will be the honey box. So that was that. So then this morning, okay, so a couple of our newer members who don't live that far away, Paul and Barbara, they came back today. Dave's still here. And so we had talked about continuing to work on the pavilion. Okay. So you'll have to watch the upcoming videos. So we were working on that today and getting that going. And so, with them not too far away. Yep, Dave's still here. Dave likes to hang out. He comes to. It's like I think it's an escape. Oh, I got a paw print. I think yeah, that's a paw print. That's exactly what that is. That is a big old paw from Miss Hella, and I think there's another one on this side because she was jumping on me earlier. But anyway, so we're working on that and getting that rolling, and that's I took down. I'll show you guys in an upcoming video here. I also took down the we had the canopy frame out here. So I took that down because we're not going to be utilizing that anymore. So I want to get this area up here cleaned up more, if you will. So as soon as we get the floor finished, a lot of the stuff that's up here will go into the pavilion, and we'll end up having. Yeah, Mac, why didn't you come up? What are you doing? Um, the door's still open if you want to come up, Mac. So anyway, he doesn't want to go home. Well, he likes it here. Hey, old mutt. Hey, listen, so old mutt's in the chat. I just want to do a quick shout out to old mutt. Him and his nephew came down. Really appreciate you guys coming down. The other sandbags did come when they said they were going to be here, so they're here. So I want to thank you for that again, my friend. It was really awesome meeting both you and your nephew and having you guys here. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate that. But no, it was I'll tell you what, it was a good weekend. Meeting. It's always I like meeting new people. I like having new people being interested in what we're doing, and coming together and those type of things. And we're getting things done, and it's pretty cool. There is no shortage of things to do. I will tell you that right now. There's no shortage of things to do, but it's awesome. It is awesome. It's coming together, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work. It is, but when you see when you see that progression and you see things coming together, and it's just amazing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So anyway, all right. So we're gonna get into this topic. So if you remember before, there was going to be Blinken was going to meet with China before that ended up being canceled, and I think that ended up being canceled because they were all pissed off because Pelosi went over to Taiwan, and I turned on my ham radio and got a ton of Chinese chatter. Well, so here's my thought, okay, and I don't have all the answers. I don't pretend to know all the answers. I think, is there an inevitability that we will be in some kind of conflict with China? I think it's just a matter of time. That is my take. I just think it's a matter of time. I think what you're seeing here now is the tensions are high right now. They're very, very high, and so I think with him going over and meeting with them is trying to diffuse things a little bit, and I think again, it's a matter of uh, do you have a power pole? No, we don't have power out here. Not traditional power. We have solar power out here. So, but anyway, so it's going to hopefully delay things and put things off. The more time that we get, the better off we're going to be as preppers, as off-gridders, with preparing and doing that type of stuff. It's helping us. Anytime that we get to prepare to be better, to be in a better position, to be more ready, it is such a better thing for all of us as preppers. Each month that goes by, and we're making progress on what we're doing down here, and we're getting things squared away. It gets me more and more excited. I mean, let's look at a couple things, right? So let's go back just 2 months. The last 2 months. 2 months ago, we didn't have 23 fruit trees on the property. 2 months ago, we didn't have 8 blueberry bushes on the property. 2 months ago, we didn't have 4 more raspberry plants planted, 4 more grape plants planted. Didn't have the couple of gardens in that we have in. So that's all been done in the last 2 months. 2 months ago, we didn't have the roof on the pavilion. 2 months ago, we didn't have the floor going on the pavilion. So, seeing those things all come together, and now we got the LPOP going in as well. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. There's a lot more stuff that has to be done. There's other things in the works. Again, I'm going to tease on that until it happens. But there is something. 2 months ago there was no beehive. Exactly. Yes, we didn't have the bees 2 months ago. So all these things. What do we got? 209 in the chat. Only 82 thumbs up. Guys, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. What do we do if a nuclear power plant melts down? What then? That's a very good question. My advice to be, pick your location of where you're living very carefully. Don't be in a general area where there is a nuclear power plant or in the fallout range of where that would go. I mean, that sounds easy, and it's an easy solution. It's easy for me to say. But my last 2 properties, my property in New York that I still have, okay, and the property here, they were picked very strategically, both of them. And, I had certain things that I was looking for with having a piece of property. The property in New York, I love the property in New York. I just don't like New York. There's a lot of great people in New York. Let me just say that to start out with. There's a lot of great people in New York. Once you get away from the cities, all right, it's a very conservative state, very conservative. And when I say this, conservative, liberal. Okay, the mindset is different once you get away from high population density areas. That entitlement mentality is not there. You got people that actually have to work, take care of their families, and do the right thing, and those type of things. So once you get away from the chaos and the nonsense of the cities, it's a much better place. And even like West Virginia, it is a really really nice place as well. And Congress just passed a bill to protect gas stove. Oh, did they really? I didn't see that. But again, it's just when you have these people that think that what they need to do is babysit you and tell you how to live your lives and to do all those type of things. I don't want that. I don't want somebody telling me what I have to do, how I have to do it, and those type of stuff. You sent me the info, and okay, thanks, JJ. But again, you know, we have to take care of each other, and I think that that's real important. You know, there it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. They're and I'm going to use a term here. It's almost as though they're hell bent on the destruction of America, any way that it can be possibly done. Again, and I've said this before as well. The only way you destroy America is if you get us to eat ourselves, and that's what I believe. You can't convince me any other way. No foreign power is putting boots on the ground in a strong America and thinking that they're going to come in here and walk over us. You know, we love our guns in America. That's a fact. Anybody that knows America knows we like our guns. Okay, and no matter how much the liberals want to try to take our guns away from us, I don't see it happening. I, here's the thing: is okay, and this is no slam against any of these other countries. Okay, but we are not Australia. All right, we are not Australia. Where Australia put in the laws because of a mass shooting, and they made everybody give up what they had, right? And people just turned them all in. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be just a bunch of us sitting here having a little chat. How many Americans do you think are going to go? Oh, the government has told us, and informed us that we have to give up this that we've had, this right, this that's in our Constitution forever. How many? Well, no, there'll be some, Don. There will absolutely be some, that'll be like, oh, we have to do this, but you're not going to see a huge amount of people going, okay, yeah. I'll give you a good example. Let's talk about let's talk about New York State, okay? So the lunatics that are in charge of New York State came up with that brilliant idea that if you had a rifle, all right, that you had to register it. All right. Now, I don't know what the compliance rate was. Now, if you bought a rifle in New York now, okay, it's registered. And that's how it has to be right now. If you had a rifle before, you were supposed to register that rifle. All right. Not a lot of people did. And I don't think the compliance rate was, of their estimates, was probably maybe 30% of people that actually had a rifle went and registered the rifle. Because in my opinion, strictly my opinion, registration leads to confiscation. You look at history, you look what's going on, you look how it's all went down, and that's what you see. Registration leads to confiscation. So if the government says you need to do this, like another example in New York State, okay, they decided in their brilliance that they wanted to get rid of all the high capacity magazines. So they said, if you have something, you can have a 10 round clip in New York with only 7 rounds in that. So if you get caught with more than that, you can get in trouble, right? So any new, like if you like your AR-15s, if that's your gun and you want to be the big guy in New York and have your AR-15, those magazines are pinned into the rifle. Now, can they be unpinned easily enough? Of course they can. But when you buy that rifle, that magazine is pinned in there, and you can't get that out unless you do something to modify it, obviously. You can't get 20, 30 round magazines in New York, and they're actually illegal now to have them in New York. Do I believe there's probably a large amount of people that have them that are sitting on them? I'm sure that there are. Let's put it like this, that would not surprise me at all. There's a lot of people that don't have a whole lot of trust for the powers that be, and so they're gonna make their own decisions. And my thing is this, and I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I'm not going to tell you what I had or what I didn't have in New York or any of that type of stuff. I'm not going to get into any of that. But in my opinion, again, strictly my opinion, the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, right? Shall not be infringed. That doesn't mean you start making up all these laws and changing things and then telling us how lucky we are that they're allowing us to do this, that, or the other thing. Again, shall not be infringed. What does that mean? To me, it means you can't make decisions for me to tell me what I can and cannot do. That's as far as that part of it goes. But again, that's to each their own. I am delighted to not be living in New York State anymore. To be honest with you, I am glad I am in a state where you are free, and and stuff like that. So that's my take on that. But anyway, uh, situation with China, it's very tense. I don't know if you. There's a lot of different stuff going on right now. I don't know if you guys saw that there was. They're pulling Americans out of Taiwan. They're telling Americans to get out of Taiwan. Why would they do that? Right? Why would they do that? Because there is Bronx, Harlem, all the boroughs in New York City. I guarantee you, stockpiles of weapons in those areas. Oh, absolutely. See, so here's the thing, JJ, with that, okay? And again, this is what kills me about these governments, okay? When you make these laws and you put these laws on the books, all you've done now is make law-abiding citizens criminals if they don't comply to what your laws are, okay? That's all that does. Because the criminals that are out there are never abiding by any gun laws anyway. I mean, let's look at Chicago, guys. Let's look at Chicago, and they got every reason. They're going to Indiana and they're buying guns and they're bringing them back and blah 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 blah. But when you have disarmed the citizenry to be able to defend themselves, what you have is a bunch of victims. So you have more shootings and more killings, like in Chicago. I mean, it's ridiculous how often those things happen there. It's insanity, and they have some of the strictest gun laws that there are. New York City is another example. Very, very strict gun laws for New York City. The island itself, it's a whole different animal within, the state of New York. So there's like one of the things like for New York City, which I did not know until I got pulled over for it. There's no right on red on the island. So you can't go right on red in New York City. I didn't know that. I was from upstate New York. I'm down watching a Yankee game with my boy, and we ended up getting, yeah, I recommend not disclosing what you have. Think OPSEC. Oh yeah, no. As far as weaponry goes, I mean, do you see me walk around with a pistol on my hip? Yes, you do. Okay. I mean, I live in a state where I have the freedom now to do what I want to do. So yeah, I am always armed, always, because we live in a world where there are people out there that are lunatics, and so you have to be able to defend yourself. That's where I'm at. I live in the middle of the woods where I'm not the apex predator out here in the woods. So if a black bear comes out of the woods and decides it's having a bad day and it wants to do me harm, I want to be able to defend myself. So yeah, you're not going to see me. Well, let's put it like this: SHTF happens and you come for a visit with bad intentions. What's that? F around and find out. That's what'll happen then. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not about being a tough guy. You know. So it's a matter of we have to do what is necessary, and when SHTF happens, and I believe it's a matter of when, not if. You know, defense is going to be part of that. You have to be able to defend what you have because there are people out there will have that entitled mindset, and believe that what you have they deserve, and you have to deter them from that thought process by any means necessary. So, you know, yeah, and I got the bees. Yep, exactly. I'll sick the bees on people. So, but no, it's just we have to continue to do what we need to do to prepare the best way that we possibly can, to put whatever infrastructure you need to make your home or your bug out location successful. What you have to understand, and I want you guys to really think about this a second, okay? If you live in suburbia, uh, we're not even talking about the city, because if you live in a city, your chances of making it long term in the city are slim and none. That's reality. You can think otherwise, but unless you have a plan to get out of Dodge, your chances of survival in a city are slim and none. Now, let's say you're in suburbia and you're Joe hardcore prepper and you've been getting ready and all those type of things, right? And the power goes out and the power's not coming back on, and it's the middle of winter. And you got your wood stove and you got your lighting because you got your solar and you got all your other stuff and you're ready to go and you got your food and all that type of stuff too. So your neighbors realize rather quickly you got smoke coming out of your chimney. You have lights. You're cooking food still while now they're out of food. All right. Now they're going to come and ask at first for you to help them. And then you have to make that decision. Are you going to help them or not? And if you don't, then now you have enemies. Okay. And what you have to realize is you will be attacked. And if you, let's say you fight them off, you're successful. You fought them off. So, okay, you fought me off. What am I going to do? I'm going to take that Molotov cocktail and I'm going to burn your freaking house down. What are you going to do about that? What's your game plan for that? That's reality, folks. So you are in a situation where you are basically waiting until the time comes when somebody's big enough, strong enough, or the numbers are there, they can take you out if you live in those areas. The farther out you are, the better your chances for long-term survival. The farther out you are, the less chance of people coming there, depending on what the situation is. All right. So, you know, but it's just those are just things to think about. You can do what you want to do, and I'm not going to tell you you need to do this or you need to do that. You need to do what is best for you. But I will tell you, in my, if you want to call it professional opinion, I've been prepping for a long, long time, and I've done a lot of research, and I know what I'm talking about, and I don't talk out of my behind. Um, if you don't have a group, if you don't have people that you can count on, that you can rely on, that are going to have your back, that are going to make sure that if you get hurt, you have time to recover, to make sure that if people are getting proper rest. The reality is this, my friends: none of us can stay up 24 hours a day. That's a fact. Okay. In SHTF, somebody has to be up 24 hours a day. So the longer or the bigger your group is, the more numbers that you have, it's going to give you a better chance of long-term survival, because you're going to have people being able to be on watch. They're going to be fresh. They're not going to be exhausted. Now, we can't stay up 24 hours a day. We're not going to be able, as a one-man crew, get everything done that needs to be done. You just can't. I think about when everybody comes together of what we get accomplished in a couple of days. And if you really look at it realistically, all right, people come in Friday night, may fart around, mess around with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? That's fine. Saturday is generally our day where we really get at it and we get things done. So there's basically one day. Sunday, it's usually, in the morning we get things going and we do things until about noon. And then generally people, head home. So a day and a half a month, we come together, we do what we got to do, we get things done. I think about what could we get accomplished if we had everybody here for a week or 2 weeks. And I look at it from that perspective, thinking, man, what we could get done would be amazing. And so what we've done so far here, I couldn't be prouder of. I see it coming together, and I see this awesome family that we're creating Dave made a great comment. We were sitting there talking about this, and I said, we're creating a family. And what Dave said, he goes, we were just a family, we just hadn't met yet. And I like that. I like that saying, because it's like that's what we're creating. We're creating a family down here. And, all the naysayers that want to say whatever they want to say, that's fine. Go ahead and say what you want to say. And I'm going to wish you the best of luck when the time comes, because you're going to need it. I would rather be able to go, okay, you know what? We've worked hard today. The people that are out on watch, keeping an eye on those of us that are sleeping, that I know that I can put my head down and I can go to sleep and I'm going to be okay and I don't have to worry about it. That's a huge thing. That is a huge thing. So, but yeah, Steve is doing a lot better. Thank you for asking. He's feeling much, much better. And he did go back to work. And like I asked him today, I said, so how you feeling? He goes, I'm feeling better. He goes, it's taken time, but I'm feeling better. You need people in the group that are addition, not restrictions. Exactly. And you know what? It's like having the right people, in your group is very, very important. There has to be a cohesiveness. People need to be able to get along, and I got to say, he's not fully recovered yet, Okie Forge, but he's getting there. He's definitely feeling better. He's back to work. So, that's a good thing as well. But, it's going to take him. He's got some pretty good bruising going on. And, he's healing up pretty well. And he's coming along. But yeah, also he had gone back to work. I think he worked Saturday and Sunday. And so somebody had come in and they go, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" Because his hand is all bandaged up, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't do what she told me to do." And he goes, and the person like got this like look of horror on their face, and he goes, "No, no, 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 no." He goes, "That's not it." But it just he likes to bust chops like I like to bust chops, and so he just but people get like all like, "Oh my God." So um, is he riding his bike? Right now, he hasn't been, no, but we're looking at other options, moving forward for him. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's just he's on the mend. He's feeling better. It's going to take him some time to get back to 100%. Which that these things happen. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? It's just that was it was not a fun thing. And lo and behold, he survived under my treatment, which is, I guess, a good thing, right? So, but yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. So, but anyway, accidents are going to happen. So there's the other thing. Let's talk about that for a second. Accidents are going to happen. SHTF happens. You're still going to, think about what you do to ourselves, especially as we get older, right? Injuries are a whole lot easier when we get older. I mean, and recovery time is a whole lot longer. So, those things are not going to stop just because it's SHTF. You're still going to cut yourself. You're still going to hurt yourself. And I can hurt myself walking up a hill. It's funny that, saying that jokingly, but I get it. It's, things happen. I mean, but yeah, head injuries can absolutely be deadly. So, but we have to watch for turtles crossing the roads here. Wow, that's pretty wild, Delbert. Yep. Ed, all ex-military never forget the training they've had, no matter how long ago it was. You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct, Tony. I agree with that 100%. No, actually, his bike was fine. JJ, the chain came off. That was it. But the bike itself was fine. I think he probably hit some gravel. Is my guess. There's gravel on the roads, and if you hit that gravel just right, uh, you know, anybody that rides a motorcycle knows you got to watch out for the gravel. So, but anyway, it's. Are you going to integrate a rain catchment in the upper meadow fruit trees somehow? What we want to do with that CD is that's a great question, and thank you for asking that. What we want to do as we continue with these other projects is get a water storage tank, put it on top of the hill near where the LPOP is, and then be able to, like, when I say a water storage tank, I'm talking about a 1,500 gallon at least tank, that we can have up there, that we can use gravity feed for the upper meadow down the hill, and for down here as well, doing gravity feed to be able to utilize that water. We will eventually have greenhouses in that upper meadow, so obviously we're going to need water for that, and so that will be part of that plan. There's a lot of thing. How long does it take for the bees to make honey yet? Well, they're okay. So Don, they're making honey already right now. Okay, but what they're focusing on right now, the bees are. You had the first box. As they fill out that first box, then you put the second box on. They fill out that second box, and those boxes are basically the queen is busy laying eggs. They had to build out the cone in each of one of those boxes. Now that the cone is built out, once they get to that point, then they're going to focus, like that third box that is going to be going on within the next couple of days. That third box will be where that'll be the honey for the bees. Okay, so that third box will be honey for the bees. Do the bees get upset when you take their honey? You know what? There's it's I'm not going to say upset when we get to that point, but bees need to be busy. Okay, bees need to be busy, and that sounds crazy. The busy bees, you've heard that. Well, if they have a job to do, it's a good thing. So if we get to the point where we got all four boxes on, okay, the two upper boxes, the third box is the honey for the bees. The fourth box would be the honey for us. So as they fill that fourth box up, we'll be taking some of that out and putting in new empty ones. So now they have more work to do. And the bees focus on the task at hand, exactly. And they get at it and they take care of their business. Making sure that they have enough to get through the winter is absolutely important as well. And like I said, it's really cool. The whole thing is really, really cool. And when you see the queen leaning back in the antennae smoking a cigarette in the entrance, she's done. Oh my god, yeah, the queens are very, very busy. Their job is to lay. The average life of a bee is 40 days. Okay, in that 40 days, the average bee is going to produce less than a teaspoon of honey in their lifespan. A queen will live up to 3 years. You know what I did not get? Let me text Becky real quick, guys. Hold on a second. I did not get an egg count. Let me just see here. Hold on. It would be hard to do the egg count if I don't know what it is. So I have to text Becky to make sure I get that. So anyway, but the queen will live up to 3 years, and she'll actually lay her replacements. There we go. That was quick. So I already got the answer, which is awesome. All right. So they lay their own replacements. So there'll be a chamber, if you will, a part of the hive where there are. Somebody said, "Oh, we're not doing egg count yet. I'm just getting ready for it." So I'm like, 16, yes. What is that? I'm like, no, it's not time yet. So relax. But no guessing ahead of time until I say so. But anyway, so she'll have an area that is the replacement queen. So if she gets sick or she gets hurt or she dies, the other bees will hatch out those queens, and whatever queen comes out first will kill the other queens. Okay, and then you have your new queen. And so it's a really cool process. You can split the hive if you want to, and stuff like that as well. With that first hive, getting it in, getting it taken care of, and getting it established, we'll be able to grow our bee production from there. And so that's a neat thing. The whole process is just amazing. It's just amazing. Uh, the person said, the person said, well, I would just rather go to Walmart and get my honey at Walmart. And I'm like, well, good for you. I mean, great. That's fantastic. You know what? I would rather have the relationship with the bees that they are also helping our crops grow better. If without bees, we're not here. That's the reality. The bees have such an important job, and if you have local honey, pure local honey, untreated, like they do that the honey that you buy in a store, your allergens that are in your local area, all right, with if you eat that honey, people that have allergies, that's going to help. Yeah, store bought honey is strained. Yep, exactly. Um, that's going to help with those allergies because all the pollen and everything that they're getting locally is what's local. And so that's in the honey. And so if you're eating that local honey, it's so much better for you. It's unbelievable. So to me, it's like, having a source. And I'm gonna tell you what, I love honey. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love honey. I use it quite a bit in a lot of different things. But being able to, and I cannot wait. I'll be honest with you, I cannot wait until we get to that point where we are collecting our own honey from our own bees on the property here, and we can say, hey, look at, what, there's another step towards being as independent as we possibly can. Yep, we definitely want to make mead down the road. So yeah, the bees are going to pollinate your gardens. They're going to pollinate your fruit trees. They're going to, it's the relationship. If you have them, it's a good thing. Mead is a honey wine or liqueur, if you will. So you basically, it's a spirit, but it's made from honey and not from wheat. Like you like beer is made from barley and wheat, right? To turn it into alcohol. Mead is an alcohol, but you're using honey to do that. So I did not electrify the fence yet. There's actually work that I have to do. Somebody had made a comment, and I'll tell you because I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to, BS you. They basically had said, if you don't have it cleared of the brush and stuff like that, that electric fence is not going to work. So I need to get out there and work on that some more. And yeah, I'll start sounding like Winnie the Pooh eating the honey. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I got to work on that more. And so that's something that is right now we're working on the pavilion floor, and there's other things going on as well. And there's only so many hours in the day. Yeah, so we're gonna see how things go. But there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of work to be done. Um, but we are making progress. I definitely need to get that squared away. That needs to become, you know, uh, didn't know that, so you'll have to weed eat constantly too, huh? That's well, it's not impossible, but I mean, it's like if you can get it all dug out and get the weeds out of there, and you're just gonna have to keep. No, I'm not putting it. No, yeah, Roundup. That's actually funny, Larry, that you would say that. No chemicals. I will not be using any chemicals. But there is, you can use, yes, there's plans to build a pond, and we will discuss that more moving forward. There's a lot of plans going on. Like I said, I know you were just kidding. I know you were just kidding, Larry. There's something that you can put together, and I can't remember exactly what it is that'll kill weeds with using natural ingredients. So, I definitely, probably will once we get it cleared out. I would do that in that area to help that. So, but yeah, it's vinegar and something else, isn't it, Larry? It's a combination of two different things that you can put together, and it actually kills weeds. Vinegar, salt, and dish soap. Okay, thank you, Wishika. I knew it was. So there you go. Vinegar, salt, and dish soap. Yep. So thank you. But anyway, yeah. So it's Yeah, it'll like I said, yeah, salt kills everything. Hey, it'll do the job. That's okay. But yeah, like I said, it's exciting seeing things come together. And the pavilion is such a huge part because it gives us a central meeting spot. It gives us some place when it's finished to get out of the weather. I mean, like right now. So this weekend that we just had, it was a pretty sunny weekend, which is an anomaly for what we've been doing down here for the last year. We actually had a really good weather weekend. Okay, and you know we had got the plastic down first and got the stone down, on the ground in the pavilion before we started, working on the floor itself. Well, pretty much everybody was in the pavilion because it was shaded, and we were able to get out of the sun, and that type of stuff too. So, and that's a good thing, you know what I mean. And that's why, like I said, once we get the floor in, and it's all coming together. Did you name the pavilion? I forgot. Yes, we're calling the pavilion. The name of the pavilion is going to be the Raven's Nest. That's what we're going to call the pavilion. So it's going to be the Raven's Nest, more with the Norse type of stuff. And absolute, one of the guys is a metal fabricator, and he's got a sign that he had sent me the picture of that we're going to be putting up in the pavilion, or hanging outside of the pavilion, I should say. So, but yeah, the bunker is Archie's bunker, or yeah, yep, the bunker is going to be no Archie's place, right? Is it what we said or something? Archie, yeah, well, not Archie bunker. It's going to be Archie's place or something like that. We're calling the pavilion, or not the pavilion, but the bunker, something like that. So, but yeah, Archie's place. Yep. So, and that's the pun on Archie bunker, So, but yeah, you'd have to be old enough to remember that. But no, I'm really happy with our progression. We got some great people, and I keep saying that, and I'm going to keep saying that because that's a fact. That is a fact, and you know, as our numbers grow, you guys are going to see amazing things happening here, and it's yeah, meathead is still a meathead, exactly, exactly. But so no, it's it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of hard work. I'll be honest with you. It living off grid is not an easy thing in the best of conditions. I can't even imagine what it will be like for most people. To be honest with you, for most people, when a true SHTF situation happens. Um, and let's be realistic. Let's just talk about my group members, right? I live here full time. Steve lives here full time, right? So we're used to this. This is what we do. This is how we live. We live off grid, right? Uh, Most of my members, obviously, they come down for the weekend. We do our thing. Then they go back to their homes in suburbia and all the creature comforts and everything like that. So when the time comes, um, you almost made me tear up with that video, Ed, and I'm not a great. Well, thank you, Don. I appreciate that. You know what? Sometimes you just got to speak from the heart, and just say it like it is. And I don't know any other way to be. Good, bad, or indifferent. If it pisses people off, I'm just going to shoot from the hip, and that's kind of how I roll. But I have been very, very fortunate. I've been very, very blessed, and Bob says the majority will die, and I'm okay with that. I'm tired of it. You know what? I understand, Bob. I do, but what the point I'm making is, my group members are here for a couple of days a month, and then they go home. So, like, we have a group text, right? We all talk in a group text, and I'm just going to give. I'm going to throw Mark under the bus on this one. So, he'll be here for the weekend, and he works his butt off. Don't get me wrong, works his butt off, and then he'll go home and he'll show a picture of himself soaking in the bathtub, right? And I'm always giving them a hard time. I'm like, you suck because I don't have a bathtub. I can't soak in the bathtub. Now, could I get something and engineer a bathtub and have something that I could do that? Sure, I could, but that's not a priority at the moment. There's other priorities that are more important right now. So, but what about the unfiltered honey that you buy at the store? You know what? I'm gonna say a no comment on that one, Carolyn, because I'll put it like this. Okay, if you are not buying directly from somebody that has beehives, that is telling you yes, and even them sometimes are not always honest. I just I'm going to be put it out there because I don't, like I said again, I don't know any other way to be. Even sometimes they're not honest of how they've done their honey and how they've treated their honey. Uh, if you have somebody that you trust that has beehives and you say, I want raw honey, uh, that's what you're going to get. Other than that, there's no guarantee. So I'll put it like that. Get an old clawfoot tub, Ed. You can probably find one out in an old house. Yeah, no, I definitely, I would like to. Well, see, here's the problem, Okie Forge. When you're tall, the bathtubs that they have today are not designed for tall people. So if you are 5'5" and under, great, you can get in there and you can soak and have a great soak. But if you're taller than 5'5", or if you weigh a little bit too much, those bathtubs are definitely not designed, for people. So, and I don't get that because it's like I love to have a good soak. I love a good soak. Ed, do you know how to test honey to make sure people aren't cutting it or to sell more? I don't, to be honest with you. I really don't. So, what is the announcement you mentioned in your video yesterday, or will you? I will let you guys know when the time comes. Um, Obviously, right now I can't. When things happen, and I can let you know, I will let you know. And it's good news, but until everything is said and done, I'm not going to prematurely jump the gun and announce anything until it is a done deal, and then I will explain everything at that time, and so you'll see when we get to that point. But it is definitely a fantastic thing. Okay, yes, egg count time. Let's do, yeah. Epsom salts are great in the tub as well. How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So go ahead. We'll start with Larry there, even though we jumped the gun a little bit. So go ahead and get your guesses in, guys, and we will go from there. So. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and thank you ahead of time. So, giving you guys some time here to get your guesses in. And the guesses are slowing down. Okay, so I would be honest. We have no correct guesses so far. No correct guesses so far. So reevaluate your guesses and start again, starting now. So I'll give you guys a moment to do that, and we will go from there. I kept looking and nobody was putting the right answer, and I'm like, well, all right. If you had the same exact guess on the second try is stealth mode with 5 eggs today, and yes for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to Stealth Mode for the second round guess being correct. I don't think we've ever had that happen in a regular live stream. Private live stream, yes, we've actually gone up to 3 times in a private live stream, but in this one here, that's probably the first time that I had to say, okay, nobody got it right. So yeah, I think it's a first too. So everybody was guessing high. I was looking. Somebody had 5 and no, but that was not correct either. So, but yeah, so I guess lazy chickens today. I think it might have been raining up there today. I'm not 100% sure. And usually the weather definitely has, you know, has an effect on things. Well, actually, Dawn, there was just the other day. They had 11 eggs the other day. So just day by day, you just never know. But congratulations to Stealth Mode. You've won absolutely nothing. So, uh, it rained here in Waterloo, New York today. Yeah, it was weird because it rained when I got back this afternoon. Had a rainstorm come in, and actually it's raining right now. And there wasn't rain. There was like a 20% chance or a 10% chance of rain in the forecast. So apparently, that 10% decided to say no, we're 100%. So, but it's raining right now. I can hear it raining right now. Ed, have you ever thought about doing some videos on basic first aid? I will be 100% honest with you. I did some medical videos quite a ways back, and nobody wanted to watch them. Nobody was watching them. So I stopped doing those for that reason. And that's, again, just being honest. If people didn't care to watch them, I felt like I was wasting my time. So haven't taken the Harley out yet. Just been a little bit busy, but I definitely plan on getting out and getting some riding done. So yeah, I definitely will be out on that bike. I can tell you that right now. It's weird. It's been like today was a cooler day here. I don't even think we got out. No, Heather's not getting married. No, no, no. Heather's not getting married. Becky's going to get married, but they're planning on a wedding next year. So no, don't do that to me, JJ. I'm not ready for my daughter to be married off yet. She's too young. She's got her whole life ahead of her. It's funny. We were talking. We were talking about that. Heather and I were talking about that, and she's like, "Dad, these girls that I went to high school with, they're already banging out kids and stuff." She goes, "I'm like, are they nuts?" I'm like, "Well, it happens. It happens." So yeah, Hey, I didn't have my kids until I was 36. So that's when I had my kids. I was 36 years old. I didn't get married the first time until I was 30. So I waited until 50 and so happy. My life rocked. That's cool. Yeah, to me, it's like, guys, I've been all over this country. All over. I've been up through Canada. I've been down into Mexico. Pretty much. I never been over Europe or anything like that, but there is so much to see here in the United States, and I've been to a majority of the states. There's only a few that I haven't been to, and it is Gemini's typically soil their oats until they reach their 30s. Free thinkers, I guess. I don't know. There was a lot of things that I wanted to do, and when you are okay. So when I had my children were very wanted. They were very planned, and so it is to me. It was like when I had my children. That's where I was at that point. I was established in my career. I knew what I wanted, and I'm Gemini and got married at 20. Well, everybody's different. Yeah, that's just somebody saying something else, but that's what I wanted at that point, and but like I said, I've been all over the place, and when you have your children, it's not about you anymore, or it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That is not always the case for some people, and I know that. But for me, when I had my children, I used to tell people, I used to say I have three priorities. I said my number one priority is my kids, my number two is my kids, and my number three priority is my kids. And I would say, um, any questions? Because that's where my priorities were. After the kids' mom and I went our separate ways, I kind of made the conscious decision after a certain point that I just was going to go ahead and raise my kids and get them up to adulthood, uh, you know, and then I can go on and do what I want to do again. And, and that's where we're at now. Would I love to have the kids down here? Absolutely. I'd love to have them on the property, living here on the property. But, they have to follow their own path, and I wanted out of New York for so many years to get back out of New York. Here's the weirdest thing, people lock themselves in to their own prisons and don't even realize it, right? They do. They lock themselves into their own prisons without even realizing that they're doing it. And the next thing you know, you blink your eyes and 20, 25 years is gone and you're still there and you don't want to be there. And you have to figure out what you want, what your priorities are. A prison with no bars, exactly, exactly. If the number of people that I heard complain living in New York, I hate the state, I want to get out of here, I want to get out of the state. Well, what's stopping you? Now in my situation, the way I looked at it, and it was my own personal belief, um, I didn't want to take my kids away so they wouldn't see their mother. So still their mom, regardless of what happened between us. That is still their mom. So to me, I could have taken the kids and moved out of state. Sure, yep, absolutely, I could have done it. Could have done it, but it wasn't to me. It wasn't the right thing to do. So waited till they were grown. Now, Heather lives on the property in New York. Becky lives on the property in New York, and that's fine. And so but for me, it was time to go. I wanted to be in a better position. I wanted to be out of New York State. The whole thing with the dog, for me, honestly, that was the last straw. It really was. I had already planned on getting out of New York State before then, but that was the last straw for me. And I had enough, you know, and I wanted to be someplace where, you know, I might, it's funny. This is what's funny. I am honestly a very private person, in all honesty. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, "Are you kidding me? You put yourself out, you put your life out on YouTube," and I do, and I share what we're doing and what's going on here and stuff like that. But I also need my alone time, if you will. I like my alone time. I like to be able to decompress and just kind of hang out. And and if I get in a mood, I mean, there's times that I don't make a video. If I have a day where I'm just like, you know what, I ain't there today. I'm not doing it, and I just need a day. I'll do that. And so, you know, um, but I like being here. It's peaceful. It's quiet. I find it very enjoyable. So and that's kind of where I want. And like I said, I like my time. So, but we all have choices. Like I've had people say to me, um, how can you stand being alone? I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I mean, if I met somebody and her and I got along great and it worked out, fantastic. But I don't have to have somebody. There's the difference. Some people, I got a really good friend of mine, love the guy to death. I've known him forever and a day. Um, you know, he was with his wife. They were together, I think, like 18 years. 18 years, and then she died. She had cancer, and she passed away. He was dating 2 months after she was dead, and I'm like, let's put it like this: when my ex and I went our separate ways, I didn't date for 2 years. I couldn't. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? It was just I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't give anybody else that much of me. So I had to have time to heal. I had to have time to process and all that type of stuff. Now, again, um, some people can't stand being alone, and that's kind of where my buddy was at. Did I judge him for that? Absolutely, I did, because I'm like, how can you go and be with somebody for that amount of your life, and then they pass away, and then you're just right back out into the dating world? But again, everybody's different. So, and here's the weird thing, and some of you will understand this: the longer you're alone, everybody mourns differently. No, I get that, like I said, but I couldn't fathom how he could jump back into dating that quickly. But it's that's to each their own, and whatever. But what I find, the longer that you're alone, the more you're okay with being alone. I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and to me, it's like, you know, I get up in the morning and I go, okay, what do I feel like doing today? And I don't have to say, hey, honey, do you want to go do this with me, or do you want to go do that with me? I don't have to do that. The only thing I got to worry about is the dog. That's it. And I have a spot for her that I can crate her, and I know she's safe in that spot, and then she'll be okay. And but so, but that's kind of how that's where I'm at with that one. But like I said again, and I like it. Okie Forge said everybody mourns differently. So where I couldn't do that, if I'm going to be see here, I guess here's the difference between me and a lot of people when it comes to dating. With me, I'm 100%. I'm either all in or I'm all out. That's how I am. So if I'm with somebody, they get 100% of me. And, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, well, that's, that happens too. But, if you never try, if you never give it a chance, you're never going to find out. So I got divorced and went buck wild with women drinking, then realized I needed to have someone now, and I've been remarried for 8 years. Nothing wrong with that, James. Again, um, I will tell you. Before, we're gonna do shout outs here in just a second, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, and that's something that I'm not proud of. I'll be honest with you. Um, you know, After I found out I had cancer, and I had my surgery, and I recovered from that, um, I had about a year where I slept with several women. I'll just put it like that. I'm not going to tell you what the number was, because some of you'd be like, "Oh my God," but I slept with several women in that year after my surgery. And part of that for me was I just needed to be alive. And I know some of you will understand what I'm saying, and some of you will not. But after that year, I looked at myself. I didn't like what I was doing. And that's when I focused and said, you know what? I need to focus on my kids. And that's what I did after that. And that was a personal choice. You know what I mean? You know, but I married my wife when she was 16 and I was 24. The 27th of this month, we'll be married for 40 years. Congratulations, Tony. That's awesome. That cancer does make you do some self reflecting. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, Dawn. You will reevaluate big time when you deal with cancer. Big time. So, all right, let's go ahead and do some shout outs here. We got Icky Can up in Canada. A real good guy. I would ask you to go to support him. You have Angry Prepper, and that's Jason down in New York City. You have Alaska Prepper, which is Rudy. There is Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels. Same guy. Really good information with him. Watching him build up in Canada, it's amazing. You have Demcad. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really interesting stories, so definitely should check that out. You have Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle doing their thing out there. Good channel out there, should support them as well. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. Cody's an amazing guy, great channel, a lot of great information with him. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily over in Europe. You have Kyle's Cabin. That's Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota, living off grid up there. Really, really good channel as well. Let's see. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband wife team, two different channels. Are really down to earth, laid back people. Definitely check them out as well. There is Green Greg's. You have Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. A lot of good information with him. He's been prepping for a long time. You have Gray Man Prepping. There is St. Bernard Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy. They've been around a long time. Another great channel. Definitely check them out as well. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona, living in the desert, showing you how to live out there. There is Camping with Steve Wallace, who does the stealth camping. He's up in Canada. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works, the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. A lot of stuff's happened in her life, but real good channel there. Boss of the Swamp, he's been around a long time too. Another really good builder, so it's fun to watch him build. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Again, Diamond's a real smart guy, a lot of good information. If you want to know anything about the Grand Solar Minimum, he is the guy to listen to. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. You have Bear Independent. The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley is going to give you all the updates with Yellowstone, what's happening there, the earthquakes, and everything else. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There's Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, very passionate about the weather, but he also gives back to the community big time. So definitely somebody that I would recommend you watching. There is Russell Brand. Russell Brand gives you the information and lets you decide what you want to do with it. Again, I like that, and so definitely check him out as well. There is Deep South Homestead, another really good family-friendly oriented channel, so definitely check them out. The Outsider up in Maine. You have the Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's. A lot of good information on that channel of how to live in the 1800s. We may be there again some point, so definitely check that out. You have the Prepared Mind. There is Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. Pinball's a good guy. Good information on his channel. You have East Tennessee Preparedness. There is the Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels, a lot of good information out there. I do believe we should be supporting each other. I think that is important to do so. And, that's a good thing. Again, what I try, like my main thing, guys, to be honest with you, I want to show people that this life, instead of getting married again, I'm going to find a woman I don't like and give her a house. Yeah. Well, Sam Kinison used to say, he liked the idea of marriage, and he loved giving away half his crap every 5 years, which I thought was hilarious. But my thing with this channel is to show people that this lifestyle, living off grid, and doing this is something that is doable. Now with getting a group together down here and doing that, again, showing that a bunch of people that had no idea who everybody else was, come together, work together with common interests, common goals, and be able to, put ourselves in a position where we can be hugely successful when something happens, and that we're willing to, work together. I think that that's important. And again, there's a lot of trust in that, to be honest with you. And it's, to me, it's just, it's amazing to have this. Um, Anybody know what happened to Bushcraft Bear? Haven't seen any new videos. Oh, I no idea, no idea. But again, we have to. You know, Anybody can do this if you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to sacrifice. But unfortunately, a lot of people today, we live in an instant gratification society. People want instant gratification. They want it yesterday. They don't want to have to work for it. They don't want to have to wait for it. If you're willing to put in the effort and hard work, this is doable. It really, truly is. But we are. A lot of people are spoiled. They're pampered. They're not willing to work hard. They're not willing to sacrifice in the short term for the long term goal. The New York property, that was over an 8 year period of time. So, I mean, that did not happen overnight. Didn't happen overnight. It took time, and we went without a lot of things for a long time. But to me, the long term effect of that was you appreciate things so much more. Taking a hot shower. When you don't have a hot shower and you're finally able to take a hot shower, you have no idea what that is like, and psychologically how awesome that is, just to be able to take that hot shower. So, uh, you know, but we grew up without all the modern conveniences, so our generation will be fine when SHTF. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. They're going to be in big, big trouble. They're going to be in big, big trouble. But like I said, baby steps. Again, when I say STD at the end of all my videos, it is so true. Um, if you work a half an hour a day, 20 minutes a day on a project that you want to get done, right? Well, you know what? Before you know it, that project's going to be done. But if you work 0 minutes a day at it, it's never going to get done. So, you have to go, okay, well, I can't do a lot, or I can do a lot depending on what your work schedule is and what kind of time you have and stuff like that. You know, um, you set a goal and then set about to making it happen. And man, I'll tell you what, before you know it, you look and you go, wow, look at this. I literally sometimes, I honestly will sit here on the property and I'll take a walk around and I just take it all in. Just take it all in. And like I said, these last 2 months alone, what we've been doing just these last 2 months alone, it blows me away. It really, really does. So just watching all the progress you've made so far is amazing considering the help is not daily. No, and that's, like I said, with, Paul and Barbara coming in, and, they're spending the night here tonight, and they came in this morning, and, they said, hey, we want to help you get more work done on the pavilion. And, with Dave still staying here and being here and, and hanging out, with the four of us working on it, I can't do it alone. I can't hold up, the boards and get them in and do all that type of stuff. You need several people to do that. So with the four of us working on that together, it's so cool to see things coming together. And it's amazing. All of it's amazing to me. And and I can't wait till we got that floor in, and then when everybody comes in, in July, and we can sit around in the pavilion on a level area and be able to sit there and enjoy each other's company and do all that. That's going to be cool. Now, there's a lot more work to do on the pavilion. Don't get me wrong. A lot more work to do, but that's okay. We're going to get it done. So, but all right. So, anyway, we are Legion because we are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? So, let's do that. And we will go from there. Rhonda from Dayton, Ohio. The beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. Pipestem, West Virginia with Troy. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry, Okie Forge in Nowhere, Oklahoma, Central Iowa with Robert, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Waterloo, New York, the UP of Michigan, BC, Canada. We have East Central Illinois, Missouri and the Ozarks, Eastern Oregon, uh, Palatka, Idaho, Quincy, Maine. We have East Tennessee, Charlotte County, Florida, Washington, D.C. with Jamelia, Ontario, Canada with Dave. Let's see. Saskatchewan, Canada with Tracy. Morristown, Tennessee with Patty. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Afton, New York with Andy. Bay of Islands, Newfoundland with Mar up in Canada. St. Augustine with Stealth Mode. We got Michigan in the house. Verone, BC, Canada with Gypsy Mama Prepper. Corona, Illinois. We have, let's see, Snohomish, Washington with Wichita. We have Troy, North Carolina with Maverick. We got Maine in the house with Penny. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Acushnet, Massachusetts, close to Cape Cod. We got New Hampshire in the house with Brenda. West Central Ohio with Dale. So once again, all over the country, all over the world, huge network of people. We are the ones that are awake. We are prepared. We're working on things, and that's a good thing. And we got the. I don't know the first name. I'm not going to attempt it, but the Philippines is in the house. Very cool. Central New York with Village Homestead. Northern California with Ipsy. JC, Tennessee. Very nice. But again, all over the place, guys. We're a huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now by trying to wake people up, trying to educate people if we can. And I know it's like, beating a dead horse, to be honest with you, or bashing your own head into the wall. Got Mud Creek, Ohio with John. Again, it's just, it can be frustrating. But I will tell you this, when SHTF happens, all those people are going to be coming around looking for somebody to show them the way. And I think with us being awake, I think that's part of our calling, if you will, to try to educate, try to help people, teach them how to be able to help themselves. And I think that that's important. I really do. So, anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do a fantastic job keeping the chat clean. They are amazing. They do a great job, and it's very much appreciated. Uh, you know, So, ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, I appreciate that. I'll be sending you an email in the next few days. Okay, Don. All right, I'll be looking for it. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel, taking part of our journey and watching what we're doing. It is a lot of fun. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to be able to come on here and that people want to see what we're doing and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. And there's a long way to go, a lot of things to do, and that's okay. But they'll come together. And there's some exciting things coming up again. I can't give it away early, but when everything is all set, you guys will know. I will share that with you at that time, and it's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. So I can't wait for that. Uh, Anyway, guys, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us using race, religion, political affiliation. All that stuff is nonsense. It is. It's not. It doesn't mean anything. Believe what you want to believe. Pray to who you want to pray to. Be whatever political affiliation you want to. At the end of the day, how does that hurt to get your neighbor? You know. So anyway, let's focus on working together as human beings. We could get so much more done. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive, you stay away from negative people that want to bring you down and tell you what you can't do, you're going to be just fine. All right. So hang in there, guys. Keep prepping, keep getting ready. Who knows how much time we have? I will never say this is when it's going to happen. I'm not going to do it because it's, we don't know. But, with the indications of what's going on around the world, it is concerning. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. So, anyway, be safe. I will see you all in the next one. Preppers 1 out for now.